Hi guys, welcome to this movement lesson. Today we are going through a whole body mobility workout. We're going to be getting the core involved, we're going to be getting a bit of a glow on, but our goal today is to feel what the body has in store for us to improve movement quality, improve range of movement, and help rejuvenate the body and aid recovery. We're going to start off with hands on hips. We're going with the feet a little bit further than the hip width apart and into big circles, just taking those hips round nice and smooth through that range of movement. Now staying balanced on your feet. You can let the feet rock from side to side as you go through this movement. Allow a little bit of bend of the knees is fine. Staying connected, thinking about top to toe, core engaged, just a little bit to connect the upper body and the lower body. Change direction now, back in the other direction. And we can move these hands to push the hips left and right just a little bit and test how those hips are feeling, the outside edge of the hip, the glutes as we go out wide, or the inner thigh, the groin as we come across, and those ankles as well, and the knees, of course. One more, and good. From here, hands are going up into the air. We're going to turn, sweep a circle down, up and around. Now, if it helps for balance to look at a fixed point in front of you, maybe a couple of meters in front to look at the floor, you can still keep that range of movement through the body without feeling any dizziness. And we're bending at the waist, so not so much knee bend, but rather the back and the hips. Turning, get that dexterity through the torso, through the shoulders as well. From the top, back in the other direction now. Around, a little bit of lift of the heel, the feet, moving just as it's comfortable to get that extra range, really stretching high. And as I say, turn through the body, feeling what the thorax, the rib cage, can do in terms of its movement today. Alright, from the top, feet apart, planted with the feet, one hand reaching up, one hand reaching down. Nice and slow. Breathing out on the way up. Good. One arm reaching up, one reaching down. We stretch between the hands to increase that stretch down the side of the body. And good. All right. Low to high or high to low now with that rotational move. So we are bending the knees with this one. Almost like a discus type movement, staying balanced and stable through the feet whilst we're going through this dynamic movement. Those clicks, as you just heard there through my ankle, clicking as that air escapes from the joint, as long as it's not uncomfortable, that's quite normal as we take those joints through that range of movement. Down, rotating through the feet, up, getting that stretch through the midsection, the obliques and the shoulders. We'll change direction now, down, up and across. Arms slight bend at the elbows, but reaching out just as far as you can. And again, shifting the weight, balancing as we load up on one foot, offloading onto the other as we stand tall. And excellent, wide stance. Feet turned out, sit the hips over to one side. I'm going to lean back towards the straight leg, up and over. Same thing now as my hips shift to one side, my body leans back to the other, and increasing that stretch through the inner thigh. And you can change the position of the feet and gradually work them further apart, just as far apart as is comfortable for you. Weight into the heel, and hamstrings and adductors getting the stretch. Still keeping that wide stance. This time we're going to bring the arms across, touch down onto the floor on the opposite side of the body, and reach, almost pulling as you hold the foot to pull your body around to look behind you, reaching with that arm as well, getting that stretch through the rib cage, and Keep it going. One more on each side. Down and across we go. Good. From your wide stance, again, hands going down, and you can even edge those feet a little bit further apart. Sitting back towards the heels. Weight into the heels, a little bit of weight on the hands, keep that balance and stay connected through the core. And adductors, again with the hamstrings. Now you can tilt the tailbone back and up to increase that stretch. And testing that end range, that barrier of restriction in the muscles, and not pushing past it, but just going up to that point. Weight onto the hands as we bring those feet back together. Now we're going to go with those knees wide again. We're going to go hands together, sit those knees wide, and push the knees apart into that low held squat position. Now you can hold that static, or you can move from side to side. Chest up nice and tall. And if you can't get those hands together, cross the wrists. But if you can, push those palms, elbows into the knees, and coming up nice and tall. Resting for just a second. Feet wide, palms together, and down we go again. Testing that low position with a bit of movement. A wider stance through the feet this time. And proud posture, keep that chest up. Breathing as you hold that position. Alright, coming up. So from here we're going to go to a single leg balance, a hinge of the hips. Put your weight into your lead leg. Hinge at the hips, proud posture. And we're going to work one hand down to touch the floor, the other hand out to the side, and come back up. We're going to repeat that so you can touch down and balance with that moving leg, that rear leg up. Straight as you can through this loaded leg. Hamstring stretch. So single leg hip hinge, and there's a bit of balance of course involved in this one, but you can use the hand and the foot to touch down and give you that stability. Now, if you need to hold the wall or use a broom handle or a foam roller or some kind of balancing assist, that is fine as well. Starting to really work and stretch that hamstring. Now you want the soft mat underneath the knees, but a softer mat makes it a little bit more tricky with that balance. And we're going to go one more. Free hand out. An extra bit of balance and stability. And connecting that core. Rear leg coming up. Alright, switching to the other side. Loaded on that stable leg, arm out. Now it's not uncommon for one side to be a little bit more challenging to balance with than the other. So take your time and work with what you've got. Nice and control. Get that stretch, lift that rear leg, control the body movement from the core and from that hip. Anytime you need to reset, that's fine, go right ahead. Foot to the floor or fingertips. Hinge, proud posture, lift the chest. Down. Stretch through the calf, through the hamstring and up again. And nice work. Stay connected through that core. Let's go one more. Arm out to the side. Good. The more you do, the better you'll get at holding that balance and control. Fantastic work. Sideways on again, we're going to step forward, bend the rear knee, hamstring stretch, hands down, and come back up. We're going to switch, rear knee bends, down, stretching that hamstring. We've just worked, now we're giving it a bit of a stretch. Tensioning, stretching, tilt that tailbone up and back, and come back up again. Bend that rear knee, straighten the front knee, and good. Come back up slow. Feet apart. We're going into a walkout. Straight legs, fingertips down to palms. We're going into a press up, and walk it back. Nice and slow. Some stability through the shoulders, taking our time. This inchworm movement. Getting control of the core, the stabilizers through the shoulders, and working fingertips down to palms, strength through the fingers, through the wrists, down, up. If you need to go to the knees for the press up, that's fine as well. Let's go one more. Fingertips to palms, knees if you need to for press. One more time, walking back. Alright, we're going to walk out one more, this time into a groiner step. So, stepping forward, that lead foot, feeling that stretch through the adductor and the hamstring, shifting the hips a little bit from side to side. Good. Holding that high plank position. From here, the same side arm as the forward leg reaches up, and underneath, T-rotation and needle thread, up and underneath. Third time, up we go, looking to the ceiling, underneath. Great stuff. Bring the hand back, bring the foot back. I'm going to walk back towards that standing position, and we're going to repeat. Fingertips walking down to the palms, groiner step on the other side, getting that stretch through the lead hip, shifting the weight from side to side, moving out towards that lead knee, bringing the knee out away from the shoulder. Then the same side hand as the forward leg is going to reach up, T-rotation, stretch and underneath the body for 3 of each of these. Twist and reach across, up again toward the ceiling, T-rotation, breathe, and exhale as we go underneath the body. And again, up we go. Reaching up, third and final time, and reaching across. Underneath, we'll bring the hand back, switch the feet, walking back. Once again, shoulders, that stretch through the hamstrings. We're going down again, walking out, fingertips to palms. Stepping forward on that lead side again. This time we're going to drop the rear knee. And as we come up, reposition that lead foot, core engaged. Get balanced. I'm going to bring that rear foot up to the hand. Arm's length. Okay, we don't need to bend that arm. Open the shoulder, draw that shoulder back. Core engaged as we sit the hips forwards to get that quad and hip flexor stretch. We're staying balanced and connected. Good. Really feeling that stretch on the front of the thigh. And setting back. Hamstring stretch on the lead leg. So from here, tilt the tailbone back and up. We can gently now draw the toes up, place the palm on the sole of the foot, and gently encourage that calf stretch as well. Good. And feeling that all the way through the calf into the hamstring. Proud Good. Increase that stretch. Release the foot. We'll come back to that high kneeling position. Core engaged. We're going into that again a second time. Quadricep. Bringing that foot up to the hand. Arm's length. Let that shoulder come back. And then core engaged. We sit the hips forwards. So really feel that thigh stretch. Front of the rear thigh. Good. Drawing that shoulder back. And strong stretch down the front thigh. Sitting the weight back. And again into that lead leg, the hamstring stretch. Proud posture as we drop low, tilt the tailbone back and up. And then draw the toes up. Palm to the sole of the foot. And increase that stretch through the calf and the hamstring. Breathe. Nice. Strong stretch, this one. Okay, release the foot. Bring the hands back to the floor. Bring that rear knee up. Switch the feet. Walk back. Those fingertips stand tall. Come down again. A walk out. Fingertips to that high plank position. Step forward. This time on the other side. Good connection through the foot. Drop the rear knee. So come up into that high plank. Engage the core. Balance. The rear foot comes up to the hand. Navel drawing in and forwards with the hips to get that rear hip stretching on the front of the thigh. Draw the shoulder back, get the chest stretching a little bit too. Good. Strong stretch on that lead side, rear hip, front side. Okay, let the foot go, sit the hips back, hamstring stretch, straight leg, hands down to the floor, tilt the tailbone back and up, and then gently bring the calf into it, drawing the toes up, and then palm to the sole of the foot, gently draw the toes back, staying balanced using that hand, proud posture. Breathe, continue to breathe throughout these movements. Release the foot. Second time, going into that quad stretch. Core engaged first, always. Then bring up that rear foot. Stay balanced, connected. Open through the shoulder. Draw the shoulder back. And then sink the hips forwards and down. Breathe. Again, this is where you want a nice soft mat underneath the knees. Strong stretch on that rear hip, front side of that rear hip. Okay, and sit the hips back. Second time, last time on this side, hamstring stretch. Hinge at the hips, sit those hips back. Take a breath, drawing the toes gently up towards you. Palm to the sole of the foot. Strong stretch through the calf, up to the hamstring. Again, 6.5, 7.5 out of 10. That's the stretch sensation we're after. Good. Alright, bring the hands back to the floor. Bring that foot back and we're going to walk back. Okay, from here we're going to go with the hands up and behind. If I turn, you can see one hand coming behind the head, one behind the body. And bringing those arms back just as far as we can as we rotate through the shoulders. Keep that spine nice and tall. And just as far back behind the body as we can. And you're looking to improve. Some people can get the hands closer than others. You're looking to Compare yourself only to yourself. Increase the range if it's possible, if it's comfortable too. Keep the breathing going. Elbows drawn back. Good. Alright. From here we're going to go with a wide stance. Turn the feet to the side, 45 degrees. Rear hand is going to come up and the lead hand is going to come down against the leg. So we're going to our windmill stretch, nice and low. Just as low as you can, looking up toward the ceiling, holding that position before we come back up overhead. That's the first of 3, so we're going to come down again, arm against the leg, and just as low as you're able to go. Looking to the ceiling, bring that hand back behind the body just as much as you can, and up we go. That's 2, we have 1 more on this side. Heels into the ground, arm against that leg, pushing to open up that stretch even more. And up we go. We're going to change sides now. That was 3. First of 3 this side. Rear hand reaches up, lead hand down to the floor. Just as low as you can. And looking up. Holding that position. Up we go. Reaching high into the air. Second time. Down. Can you push the hand just a little bit lower? Straight legs if we can. And open up through the chest, through the shoulder, through the body. And for the last time, coming back down from that high position. Deep breath. Good. Hold it. And last time, coming back up. All right. With those arms, we're going to come out wide and hug across the body, opening up through the chest and shoulders, and then rounding the back from the side so you can see extension and flexion. Reaching those arms across a bit further if you can each time. And breathing in and breathing out. 1 more. All right, well done indeed. Fantastic work, guys. Feel nice and loose and relaxed after that mobility workout. Well done indeed. I will see you for another workout very soon.